What's going on, folks? My name is Justin Fried, and I'm joined today by Detroit Lions linebacker Alex Anzalone. Alex, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I appreciate you joining me. So you're here today on behalf of Campbell's Chunky and the Chunky Sacks Hunger Program. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that campaign, how you got started with it, and why it's so important to you?
Yeah, so this is my second year partnering with them, and they obviously do such great work here in the community and across the country. And it's just a issue that's just near and dear to my heart. Food insecurity is it's a really big deal in my opinion. It's just one of the most human basic needs that so many people need, but just the ability to provide and donate all these meals to people that are in need is awesome. And just really cool to see. And I'm glad to be partnering with Campbell's Chunky again.
Yeah, and of course, every sack is definitely helping you guys out, and the Lions are balling this season. You guys are definitely contributing to that cause. First of all, congratulations on a huge win over the Chargers this past Sunday. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your head coach, Dan Campbell, because of course, Coach Campbell is someone you know very well, dating back to your time together in New Orleans, and now, of course, with the Lions. We can all see his energy and everything on the outside, but to you, what is it that makes him such a special and unique coach?
Yeah, in the NFL, unfortunately, not everyone is, so upfront and genuine and honest. And it's just a matter of fact in the coaching world. Everyone has, it's like any other job that people are trying to, succeed and get by and sometimes take care of themselves. But with Dan, it's not that at all. He's genuine, upfront, straightforward. He doesn't deviate from who he is. And as a player, we're not naive to the fact of, we always say like what goes on upstairs in the scouting department, all that stuff. And Dan really leads the way in that regard. So, he's just a genuine guy that doesn't deviate from who he is.
And I think that's so clear when when you watch him speak, when you watch him interact with players, with media, with anybody, he comes across as so genuine. And I think that's why people, love him so much, love him as much as they do. And speaking of that special energy, I feel like I have to ask you about I guess, fan club that you've developed. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Oh
You
yeah.
got guys, the Lions game with the long blonde locks. I think they're calling themselves the Fanzalones, or at least that's what they've been called.
Oh yeah.
What is your take on that? How cool is it to have a group of fans kind of dressing up in, like, I guess, your iconic look, as we can call it?
Yeah. So allegedly it's been going on, but just sporadic and not necessarily, a big fan club like that. And I know it was Halloween, but it's continuing. The Fanzalones are out and about every game, and I love it. It's cool to see the support, and that's the energy that we need as players. And it's funny, but it's also great to see.
It's amazing. Have you met the guys that started it at all yet, or no?
No, no, I have no idea who they are. I know I went back and forth with someone on Twitter the other day before the Chargers game, saying he was going to be out and about. But I don't know if he was one of the originals. So yeah, just social media hopefully will connect us.
Maybe one day you can, get up there in the stands with them, see if anyone notices if it's you or if it's just one of the Fanzalones.
Yeah,
Maybe,
no doubt, no doubt.
You've been in the league for some time now. I think this is your seventh season now. It feels like this is the year, though, that you're finally starting to receive that recognition. What do you think's allowed you to take your game to the next level this season?
Yeah, I feel like last year I played, quality football, but this year, there's it could be multiple factors. I'm playing just will linebacker, kind of my more natural position. Last year I was going back and forth just based off rotation and getting different guys in the game. But just we're winning and playing good football, and guys around me are playing fast and confident too. So, it just allows me to do my job even at a higher level. And yeah, like you said, it seems like every year I'm getting closer and closer to what I deem my potential as a linebacker. And I love it. And I think that's definitely what I when I leave the game one day, I want to say I was able to reach my potential, and I'm getting there.
Hell yeah, yeah, you are, man. I want to give you a layup question here. It's a charity event. I don't want to hit you with like the hard hitting questions, right? Do you think that this Lions team has what it takes to bring this organization its first Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think that and it's not a tough question. It's not something that we're guaranteed a Super Bowl, but we know what we have to do to put in. But yeah, we definitely have the talent and the team and the culture to do so. I think that when people think, oh, you were in a rebuild the past 2 years, that's not necessarily what it was. We had, some good quality players, and we just kept adding and adding and adding through free agency and the draft. And now we're starting to put it together, go on a roll, and it's going to be uncharted territory, like you just mentioned, that the Lions haven't really experienced, in a long, long time. But so we have our work made out for you, but made out for us. But yeah, it's definitely attainable.
And I think Dan Campbell has helped instill that new culture in this organization. This might be a harder question, but how do you define what this Lions culture is at this point? Because I think it's changed a lot over the years. How would you define what it is right now?
Yeah, it's hard because, I think the number one word you want to say is grit, because that's just emphasized so much, is just grit, grit, grit. And, it's not just that, because we have guys that are, flashy, talented players. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not gritty, but it also means that, we have talented guys. When you think of grit, you just think of blue collar, hardworking. We're also, precise and diligent and talented. And so it's hard to describe the culture in one word, but Brad and Dan have been doing a really good job of bringing in the right, like, core group of guys. And, it just seems like we just all mesh together so well. And, we have the right group of guys, it feels like. I don't know how to, like, phrase that or put it into a word, but we just have the right core group of guys to make a great team.
That's what it seems like. Everything just kind of clicks. You're firing on all cylinders right now. I'll leave you with one last question, and I always love asking whenever I'm talking to players from any team. Who would you say is the funniest player in the Lions locker room?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me think.
If it's not yourself, if it's not you,
right? Yeah, there are a lot of characters in the locker room. I'd say number one, I'd probably think of you may not know him, but Chase Lucas. He's our gunner, special teams guy who's draft pick last year. I know he's on Hard Knocks a little bit last year. He's pretty funny. Everyone has their own deal, but Jamar Jefferson's really funny. He's a practice squad guy. He's great. So from top of the roster down, we have guys that are contribute to our football team more than in other ways.
And I think that's what makes this Lions team so special. I'm glad you sum it up in that way. But hey, man, Alex, I really appreciate taking time today. I know you got, a jam-packed schedule. You had a busy few months. You got a baby on the way too. So congrats on that. Just, keep doing awesome things on and off the field. And hey, hopefully we'll see you guys in the Super Bowl this year. That'd be awesome.
No doubt. Thank you, Justin.